Hey there, this video is going to walk you through how to set up a group search in the software. Before we get into the how-to, I just want to explain a few reasons why you might want to use group searches. So the first is if you have a really niche target, sometimes it's fun to use group searches to zero in on that. For example, let's say I wanted to reach out to someone who's interested in AI. If I did a normal search in Sales Navigator, I could choose software as a industry, but I wouldn't be able to zero in on AI unless I did a keyword search. So in order to do so, I could join a group in LinkedIn that is focused on AI, and then I'm able to target everybody else in that group to see if they want to have a conversation with me. So that can be a fun way to kind of zero in on something really specific. Another reason might be if you've hit your limit in LinkedIn as to how many connection requests you can send out. There is a way to message people past that limit if you're in the same group as them. So it looks a little different than a normal direct message in LinkedIn, and I can show you really quickly where that would be. So if I go into messaging here, there is a focus section, which is all of my main messages, but if I click on other here, I'd be able to see anybody that's messaged me outside of a regular direct message. So this might be in-mails, but this can also be group messages. There is no limit to how many messages you can send someone if they're in the same group as you, even if you're not connected to them. So this can be a powerful tool to kind of surpass that connection request limit and try to reach someone a different avenue. So when you set up a group search in the software will always prioritize sending a connection request to that person first. But if you hit your limit, then it will start to try to send a message instead if it's not able to send a request. So this can be another way to get around that. All right, and the last and kind of most important to me reason why you'd want to do a group search is you can use that as a commonality in your messaging. So let's say I reach out to someone in AI. I could say, hey, I noticed you're also in this AI group. It's a similar interest to me. I'd love to connect with you and have a conversation about that. If you do that, you're going to get a higher connection rate, just like you would if you focus on someone that has a mutual connection as you. So again, this can be a really powerful messaging strategy as well. All right, enough with the whys. Let's go into how to set up a group campaign. So the first thing you're going to want to do is join as many groups as you can on LinkedIn that are related to your target audience. I think you can join up to like 50 groups on LinkedIn. There's a separate video on how to do that. But once you're a part of the group on LinkedIn, then you're going to want to navigate to your Sales Navigator account. All right, from here, you're going to set up a search as normal. So I like to get to those filters by putting my cursor in search and hitting enter. And then on the left-hand side, I've got all these filters. If I click this little arrow, it's going to give me extra filters here, which is actually where the groups tab lives. Okay, so if I click here, I'd be able to type in the name of the group. All right, select it here. And now it's going to search anybody within that group with any other parameter that I set up here. So I can do my normal things here by picking out, maybe I want them to be second degree, maybe I want them to be in North America like it's suggesting there. Any other filter that you want, you can set up and it will always search within whatever group you have set here. All right, once you've got that set up, the one thing you have to do, it's a little funny, is put your cursor where it says search keywords and hit enter. This will reset your URL after you've done all of your filters. All right, now copy the URL at the top. And you're going to navigate back to your account in the software. All right, from here, you're going to go to the search tab at the top. Then start new search in the top right. And you're going to see there is a group search tab here. If I click here, you'll see that I'm only able to paste a Sales Navigator search here. That's important to note. You're only able to search within groups from a Sales Navigator account. So that's the only type of link you can do for a group search. All right, I'm going to paste my URL here, and I'm going to title the search however I want to title it for myself. All right, then I'm going to hit Add Search Task, and it's going to start loading in that search just like a normal campaign would. All right, excellent. While that's loading, I'm going to create a campaign to match that. So I'll copy the title here. I'll go to Campaigns, New Campaign, paste the title. I can copy my steps just like I always can. and hit create. All right, the one important thing here, so if I go back to this in the steps tab, what you have to do a little bit different from other campaigns is you want to make sure you fill out this group tab here. All right, so we've got the standard copy. You're going to want to have that filled out too, but also click on this group tab and go ahead and fill this out with some steps as well. So what's going to happen is it's going to go through a campaign as normal and try to send a connection request. And if that happens, they're going to go through this normal sequence. But again, if you hit your limit or if you're not able to connect to them for whatever reason, it's going to opt to send them a group message. And that's going to come from the copy that's in this tab. All right, for this, you're going to need a subject line, and then you'll put your message here. And then, of course, you can add additional steps just like normal and pick out your timing on those as well. All right, so again, right here in your first initial message is where I'd recommend mentioning that you're in the same group with that person, just to highlight that for yourself and use that as a strategy to get them to connect with you. All right, once you've got your messaging set up, you're going to go back to search here. Of course, normally we would wait for the search to completely load, and your indication here, just as a reminder, is you're going to wait for it to say a timestamp here instead of in progress, and that's kind of my indication that the search has pulled in everybody it can. But just to kind of show you this next step here, I'm going to show you that once you're done here with that search, once you've got your timestamp, you're going to click on Add All New People to Connector campaign. You're going to go ahead and choose that campaign here to match and add them here just like you normally would with any other type of campaign. All right, I think that about does it for group campaigns. Again, make sure to use that strategy in your messaging and make sure to join as many groups as you can on LinkedIn. When you do these group searches as well, just to note, add one group per search at a time. That way you can use it in your messaging. All right. Otherwise, if you don't want to use that as a messaging strategy, you can search multiple groups at the same time and you can load them in. However, it will not use the group message feature. It will only be able to send them regular connection requests that way. All right, same thing is if you're adding a group that you're not a part of, you can search within that group. It's going to pull people in, but again, you won't be able to group message them unless you are in the same group as them. All right, I think that about does that. If you have any extra questions, please reach out to your support. Thanks so much.